Welcome to Trading Lounge and the 11th of January, and starting with the DAX on the daily chart. So we can call this low here in as this wave 4 low on this particular low here, but there still is a possibility that this is still just a rally for wave 4 at the 38.2% retracement level, and then we'll move down from that point. That said, I'll continue to label it as an A and a B and a C, and we need this C wave to play out in 5 waves, and we'll look at that in a moment. If we get a nice support on top of the 11,000 here, then we will start, well, I'll start labeling it as a impulse wave to the upside. But even so, when we look at this here as wave 4 here, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, wave 4 also normally pulls back to the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree. So really we wouldn't be out of the woods unless we had support on top of 11,500, which is a medium level in terms of the trading level. So we would need that there as well. So yeah, I mean, a wave 4 can pull back anywhere from the 38.2% retracement level or the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree. So in this space, this wave 4 can be, and also wave 4s can get complicated as well. The main point is our trading. So let's dive in and have a look at where we are with that. So on the 4-hour chart here, just to highlight that a little bit. So in a nutshell, we know that there's going to be resistance at 11,000, so we're likely to see some sort of pattern across the 11,000 here. Once we see the 11,000 as support, then we'll move back in there on the long side. We really want to trade to the 11,000 and get out and wait for support at that particular point in time. So yeah, let's have a look at this particular structure. That also to remind you that the particular move up through here, in this instance here, we can see it in 3 waves here. So it's possible to label it, well, possible to label it like I've got it. It's also possible to label it like this as well. But on the cash market, the physical market, this moved up in 1 move here, okay, not 3 moves like we've got here. So that needs to be taken on board. In terms of the 1-hour chart here, so we can look at it as wave A over here or wave A here, and an A and a B and a C here. You know, if we looked at this in a bullish, if we had the low in here rather than wave C here, then we'd look at all of this as wave 1 here. This move up through here, we could label this as wave 1 up, but it's in 3 waves. We could label wave 1 up and wave 2 here and have this as the 3rd wave here and a 4th wave and a 5th wave, but I don't think that's the case. The other important point here too is that if we label this here up as wave 1 here and back for wave 2 here, then what we're looking at here is a 5-wave sequence here, but it's going to be shorter than this particular structure here. So in another way to label this here too is have, you know, this here as the wave 1, and then back here. So wave 1 here, wave 2 here, wave 3 here, wave 4 here, and wave 5 here for the 3rd wave, a 4th wave and a 5th wave here. Still doesn't make much difference. We've still got to contend with this little structure within here. So we can expect this to move up a little bit higher into here, but I'm suggesting that we take profit with all of this in here. So we can move the stop up into, well, that would be wave 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So you could probably leave it into this space here, with the view of taking profit on this 11,000 here. So the other side to this too is that when we arrive here, it may pop a little bit higher, but in one way or another, we're going to see some type of corrective pattern play out here. And once we've got that support here, then we can go into the long side over here. But it's better to take the money so you can pay attention and have a free mind, a worry-free mind of trying to understand this correction here, because corrections need to mature before you can make your final decision to understand what sort of pattern they are at that particular point. This if I bring across the French market here, it's the same instance here as well. We can have a low in place, or we can look at it as wave 3 and wave 4 here. In this instance here, we can look at it as wave A here, ABC here for the B wave, then wave 1 and wave 2 here. But the same thing again here as well, is that this is the length of wave 1 here, so it's quite clear in this case, wave 1 here, and then if I put that on here, well, we can see that wave 3 is shorter here. So that means that wave 3 can't be the shortest here. Out of 1, 3 and 5 here, wave 3 can't be the shortest. So that means that wave 5 here needs to be the shortest. So normally what I find is that wave 5 can be 61.8% of wave 3 here. So that would take us into the 48.50 area through here. So if you're long in this market, then the 48.50 would be a target area to be looking at. But also I noticed in here as well, just need to be a little bit mindful, is that this move down here appears to be in 5 waves here. So we need, if this market finds support on top of this little wave 2 or B wave here, get support there, then we'll make new highs above here. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. And once again, I will change this wave 4 once we've got this high in here, wherever this high is. Once that high is in place, and then that high is breached in some way, well, then we can remove that wave 4 and we'll look upwards. But we're also going to get really strong resistance at 5,000 here for this market as well. 8's always a profit-taking number, so we can expect a correction there. And of course, this feeds back into the FTSE as well here. So with the FTSE, well, this is an alternative count here, so I'll just go to my 1 hour chart here. So same thing off the low here. We can look at this in various ways here, but and we'll need to clarify that at some point further up in the structure. But for the time being, it's a bit of a mystery, so we'll just leave it as that for the time being. But we do have a nice structure here that we can work with here. So let's just clean this up a little bit. Trend lines are okay to work with. I kind of like them. They kind of help shape things up a little bit. So from this low here, we can count that, we could probably count this in a whole triangle pattern within here too, but up for 1 and back for 2, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here for the third wave, a fourth wave and a fifth wave up here. So this has still got a little bit more to go up here. So you want to start looking at taking profit quite close to the 7,000 area in here as well for all of this here. So yeah, just start to look at that. If Friday closes strong, right, closes on its high, and it's a good strong day, well, then it's likely that Monday will also be a bullish day as well. So take that on board. But of course, 7,000 is a nice large whole number, and it's going to see a lot of people buying and selling at that point there, creating the corrective pattern there. And also for the MIB as well, we're kind of in the same boat. Let me find that. I haven't had a good look at that, but let's. Okay, well, there's no real change from last time we spoke on this. We were looking at wave 4 in here, and we're looking for a push up into wave 5 to get this third wave up here. So a little bit more of the structure, but I've labelled this in more of a positive wave here, not an A and a B and a C here. I've labelled this as 1, A, B, C for 2 here, and then pushing up into 3rd, 4th and 5th here. So like I said before, the real trade over here, I mean, you can trade up. We could probably if the 4th wave places in nicely and the other European indices are in the right place to move higher, then we'll trade this up into the 20,000 here, and then get out, and then we'll wait for the ABC pattern to complete, and then we'll move in on a bullish trend over this side over here. So yeah, further to explore here. Alrighty, okay, thanks for tuning in as always, much appreciated, and enjoy the weekend.